tugging at my heartstrings. I tell myself that I should cut them loose. Start looking for the real thing without you. But then we go on and on. Ignore the sound of the alarms till I can't hear them. And it's just me and you. No more common sense, but then it comes back again. I walk the line of leaving you. We're standing still, yours until the end of time. What do I do? Go alone or call you home? I walk the line of leaving you. We're standing still, yours until the end of time. What do I do? Go alone or call you home?
Piece of me, piece of mind, took some time. I'm just reaping what I sow. So for sure, when no problem, it's just for me and my bro. Be secure, what I fall. G60 fucking on my hands. Run no friend. Play for keys and play for six. Look back to the window. Tell you that no one I'm a fucking baby. I'm just reaping what I sow. So, when I'm home, that's just for me and my phone. It's secure for the phone. G63 fucked up my hand. I'm no friend, Faithful keys got faithful stand.
All right, guys, what's going on? What is good, chat? Hopefully you guys are having a good day today. I'm a little bit early today. I was hoping that we would catch the alert earlier, and Mark has a different idea. So I don't always get it right. You know what I mean? I do not always get it right, chat. But we'll see. We'll see. So early. So yeah, we'll talk about it. We'll go over it. We'll see what happens, and we'll go from there. You know what I mean? So it'll be a market maker Monday. You know what I'm saying? So what's good? Roberto, Mason, Torty, Adam, Harmon, Patch, Marshall. I always forget how to say your name. Arno. I think that's it. Julius, MJ, Slowly. Who else we got on here today? Who else is here? That's the only thing, man. I just wish we had more people. You know what I mean? There's like super popular goobers on the internet. It's insane. It's insane. That's like the only thing that I wish would be different. But I don't control that. You know what I mean? Monkey, you know what I mean? That's still crazy you named yourself that, by the way. It's always like halfway awkward for me to say that. But welcome. Welcome. You guys staying warm, dude? It's like 30 something degrees. What's 45 now, but man, when I got up, it was like 30 something degrees, bro. Cold, man. You guys out there staying warm or what? In due time? If it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, it doesn't. Kind of like us going lower. It's really been more of a high resistant run here in this during lunch and even right here. 16 degrees. Ooh. In Pennsylvania? I have no reason to go to Pennsylvania, especially if it's that cold. I can't even drive in that weather. I have summer tires. Can't do it. Can't do it, man. Can't do it. But I would tell you, though, if I did, not to brag or anything, but the steering wheel is heated, too. You know how, like, some cars have heated seats? Mine is a heated steering wheel, which is pretty awesome. That shit works, bro. That thing will warm your hands in, like, 5 seconds. And if you weren't already jealous enough, at a certain temperature, the car turns it on for you. I don't even need to press the button. Crazy. I don't know I don't know what engineer programmed that, but man, they deserve an award. They deserve a raise. Whoever went to the engineers and were like, "Hey, look, we're building this computer for the C8. How about we say 45 degrees and below? If the car starts and recognizes that, why don't we just automatically turn on the heated seats and the heated steering wheel?" That guy's a genius, bro. That guy's an absolute genius. You know what I mean? What a legend. I was in Pennsylvania a few months ago for work. Never see myself going back there again. That's how I feel about VA, about Virginia. Matter of fact, that's how I feel just about the majority of the East Coast. Just throw the whole East Coast away, bro. I'm sorry. New York is start with New York. Okay? Somebody tell Trump, build a wall around that shit too. Start with New York, get VA out, keep Florida, but everything else, just get out of here. You know what I'm saying? Why do we even have an East Coast, bro? I don't know. It was 5 here in Toronto. That's worse. Yeah, I did start a few minutes early today. I was trying to get cheeky with it because we were dropping pretty heavy during the not the MOC, but like during that macro. I was thinking we may run lower, and I wanted to capture that you know, live, if you will. But clearly I did not time that correctly. So that's okay. I'm not always right, chat. But I at least wanted to, again, like discuss this stuff and sort of go over it with you. NQ, I really wasn't watching all that much, but there's a small pool of liquidity here. And it didn't really get close to that same low like ES did. And I just feel like there's a lot of engineering going on. A whole lot of engineering. And I don't care for that. So what I mean is, going back all the way to last week. You remember? All the way back to last week. We talked about, I think it was on Friday, that Friday, 68.02 as the low of December 1st. You guys remember that? No, you guys aren't late. Y'all are on time for once. Took you 2 years, but persistence is key, I guess. Consistency is key, right? Cool. We can all agree. What's good, Robin? And Capitalist? You remember we talked about the low of December 1st, which is pretty much the low of December as well. So that came in at 68.02. And then we talked about this imbalance down here as well. So Friday, when we stopped just above that, I'll make it like a Barney purple so we have a difference here. Right? That's this one. That's that one right here. I don't think that shade of purple is the same. Right? No, it's not. Okay, there we go. All right, anyway. So we have December 1st low. Friday's low. And then we have Monday's low, which is today. We have today's current low, which is here. So I'll just make like this one blue. There it is. So between 68.06 and a quarter and 68.02, that just doesn't seem... It seems likely that we're going to go lower. And for those reasons... Oh, I tossed the tweet away. I hate that it does that. You move it on one time frame and it just melts the other time frames. Okay. So that's why I said that here, right around 10:35. Right there. Because it's like there's multi-time frame engineered lows. At least I think so. If we do make a low here, and this is our low of day, and we rally off of that, well, shit. All right. I guess I'll get that wrong. But it just, again, it screams to me that it's trying to get people to go long. That's what it's trying to do. It's trying to convince people that we've made a low of day. Dow is mega trash, as per usual. Again, if we trade higher, then that's cool, but I just don't think we're going to. So, does that make sense? I don't think it's a difficult concept, or really that difficult of a idea, I guess. Market just dominated lower, left behind a ton of imbalances. We traded roughly halfway and then continued that lower movement. So this just seems weak. All of the upside today has been seen with further downside. Meaning like that run higher and then immediately lower. And then every time it tries to like stab higher, it just gets dominated. You see what I'm saying? Like, it doesn't take a lot of analysis to look at that and go, yeah, that's a weak market. You know? It's just a weak market. So, kind of like your first time at the gym. You know, you're just weak. You know what I mean? I don't know. But, yeah, it's as simple as that. I don't want a long. Shorts are going to be where it's at, most likely. We can also talk about this right here as well. Okay. And again, what I like and what I don't like. What I like, and again, this is just like a 5-minute chart, but when we ran higher here, right, and we left that imbalance right there, we had that imbalance on the way up. Then we created an imbalance on the way down, right? So expansion met with expansion. It's typically a reversal. So that imbalance would be a short. And that's at 10.55. I like that. What I don't like is we did trade lower here. We come all the way back up. Then we extend, right? And that's why I started the stream earlier, because it's like, okay, this might be the move lower, right? Wrong. We trade back up again. So it's just very reluctant to hit that pool. I still think it's going to do it. But it is, when I mean reluctant, that's kind of like a high resistant run. Low resistant run would be something like this, right? It has no, I mean, it has retracements, but no sustained retracements. It's just fast to go lower. As soon as it goes higher, it gets slammed right back lower again. Goes a little bit higher and just slams lower again. That's smooth. There's no real resistance, right? That's why it's low resistant run. This is different. It's like it is going lower, but it's not continuing to go lower. It's annoying. I shorted at the 10.55 candle and got break even. You shorted that, and this probably got you break even. Either that or that. On this move here, I'd say at 11.10, you probably, if that was your stop out, you probably moved your stop too quickly. On something like this, I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to tell you, big fella. But we'll watch it. If you guys have questions, you're more than welcome to ask. 11:40. Oh, okay. So it was this run here. Yeah. I ain't mad at you. Now, keep in mind, a short like this, it is in the low end of the day, right? Our defined range in the electronic side this is a discount, right? Shorting in a discount. Yes, you can do it if you know how to. Okay. Not everybody knows, but if you know how to, you can. But yeah, sometimes shorting this, I'm going to say late with quotations here, shorting that late into a move, yeah, it can often get you out. I'm new and found that the 15-minute and a 30-minute works for me as far as the entries. I've noticed with my back testing over the weekend that lazy trader model works on that time frame. I think that's what TF means in trader lingo. What concepts are good with this model? Like, how can we blend the concepts together? Concepts that form around the levels. An imbalance or an inversion that forms at 25. An imbalance or an inversion or a mitigation that forms at 25 or 50. But that's no longer the lazy trader model. As soon as you tailor the entry to a concept, it becomes that. Then it becomes a mitigation model. And the fib levels just become a logic. Low or high. Buy low, sell high, whatever. Otherwise, it would just be, like in this case, it'd be shorting at 50%. Okay, probably stop at 75 and then aiming for the quarter level. I probably wouldn't partial that, but aiming for like a new low would easily be a 1 to 2. Or that higher pull would be a little bit more. Is there a video or anything regarding the risk / contracts for futures indices? I don't think I have a video on that. CMEgroup.com will tell you. You could go into the TradingView paper. You can put in some paper trades and that'll show you as well. You can have all that information ready for you. I probably wouldn't ask ChatGPT, but I guess you could. But I'd verify what it gives you though. Roberto said, one thing I've learned this December is learning to take what the markets give me, not holding for home run trades and being fine with collecting singles. My ex was good at that. I wouldn't say December price action is bad, just smaller ranges. That's a good observation. That is self-discovery, my friend, because that is what the chart is telling you. That's what your results are telling you. That's self-discovery. That's a good thing. What was the first site I mentioned? CMEgroup.com. CMEgroup.com. So, Chicago Mercantile Exchange Group, I believe, is the full title, but CME. Okay. So, yeah. A lot of people say that December is bad PA. No, you're just a bad trader or a bad analyst. It's okay though. It's all good. Look, I didn't say I was the greatest. All right. Sometimes I mistime it. Sometimes I get it wrong. It's cool. But don't throw the baby out with the bathwater. That's what that means. Right? To just blanket everything. December sucks. There have been phenomenal opportunities in December, so it can't suck. So that either makes you a liar or a troll. Or you're just ignorant. Sometimes people don't lie on purpose. They lie because they don't know, which makes you ignorant. It's okay. I'm ignorant in a lot of things. I couldn't tell you much about aerodynamics. I don't know. Okay. Engineering, for example. I know what an engineered low looks like. Don't know shit about engineering. I'm ignorant in a lot of things. So, perspective. I took a long on Nasdaq after taking previous day's low and aimed for a 1 to 2. Is that an okay trade? Well, look, man, if you nailed your 1 to 2, I'm gonna say that is probably an okay trade. The issue that I have, okay, and I've taken counter trend trades before too. The problem is the way that, like, the analogy that I had, like what I see in my head when people ask me stuff like that is it okay to play on the train tracks as long as I get off the track before the train comes? It's like, look, you can play on the train tracks, you can get off before the fucking train comes, right? I don't recommend that in real life, by the way. Just disclaimer, so nobody can clip that. Can you have fun? Can you make money? Sure. But at the end of the day, wouldn't it be better to just be on the train and ride a much bigger move in the direction that it's going? Right? It's like, why scalp longs when you could easily short to go lower? Because I don't think it's going to stop. I think it's going to go down to the 80s. Because this is that daily imbalance as well. And I don't think anything's going to stop. Like, there's no reason for that to stop anywhere from 802 to 780. It should just continue lower. But again, that's just my opinion. I could be wrong. We could make a low of day and this could go higher. But as of right now, like, that's what I think. So is it an okay trade? I mean, if you made money, nobody can really argue that. You know what I mean? Because that's what this is about at the end of the day. Is it a good habit, though? Longing potentially bearish markets? I don't think that's a good idea. It was a TP, then I guess that's a good trade. But you get my point, though. Like, it's kind of like if you ask me, well, John, you know, I lost a couple trades in a row. I lost 3 or 4 trades in a row, and then I tripled my size to get all this money back. Or like if you're trying to do a combine and you know, you're in the red and then you over leverage to get your money back and then get in the green too. And you were to ask me, like, is that a good trade? It's like, well, okay. From an individual perspective, the trade was good because you made money on it, or like you grew that account, or you know, you got into the green on that combine, right? That by itself, we could say, oh yeah, that's a good thing. The problem though with that is the habit, right? You do something wrong and you benefit from it. That's not good, okay? Because you're conditioning yourself into bad habits, right? You rob somebody's house, you get away with it. Okay. Now you think, well, I got away with it once. I could get away with it again. You end up going into the wrong person's house and then bang, you get SHOT. Okay? You see what I'm saying? Like, is it a good trade? Sure. Is it a good habit? No. It's not. So that's the philosophical question of the day. Can we call it a good trade just because it was green? Or does that habit end up biting us in the ass in the long run? You see what I'm saying? So that's something to think about. Some people say you don't have to be right. You just have to be profitable. But I would rather train my eye for high probability trades. I mean, you have to be right to be profitable. You have to take green trades, which means you have to be right. So you don't have to be perfect. You don't have to be right every single time. You don't have to win 10 out of 10 trades. And let's be honest, that's usually not the case. Right? Or especially out of 100. You can win 10 trades in a row, but let's say 100 trades. You're probably not winning 100 trades in a row. You know what I mean? So at the end of the day, the first principle is profitability. What can we do to be profitable at the end of the year, at the end of the quarter, or at the end of the month, or whatever happens. The longer time frame, the better. The longer time horizon, the better. But certain trades, to get green on, you have to be right. If you're wrong and then you switch your bias, you're getting on side, right? You're getting on the right side. You got off the wrong side, got on the right side. So, I wouldn't say, I need to define this term before I can use it, because honestly, I see this word all over the place and I'm trying to figure out what it means. Okay. I don't think that's the right word to use. Maybe literal is the right word. When people say things, right? You can either look at the words they say, or you can try to say, okay, what is the content? What are they trying to say? Like if I told you, hey, over leverage the good trades, right? If you know you're not supposed to over leverage, then you know that with context, I'm being sarcastic. I'm not being literal. You know what I'm saying? That's the problem that a lot of AI has. AI can't tell when people are being literal or not, or joking or not, right? So when people say stuff like that, you don't have to be right. You just have to be profitable. That shit doesn't add the fuck up. That doesn't add up. Based on the literal words that they're saying. Because I just got done saying you have to be right to be profitable. Your winning trades have to outdo your losing trades. And to get those winning trades, you have to be right. So that shit doesn't make sense from a literal standpoint. Now, again, coming back to what I said already, you don't have to be right every single time. You don't. You're going to take losses. You're going to be offside. You're going to get it wrong. We know this, right? So that's not what it's about, being right every single time. But when we are right, we want to be right bigly. And when we're wrong, we want to be wrong small. So that's my take on it. Okay? And that's all I'm saying. So I don't know if it's just because I've been reading a lot the last number of years, or, you know, I don't know what it is, but when I read Jordan Peterson, right, 12 Rules for Life, and he talks about this, he says, choose your words carefully. Choose your words carefully. Words do matter. Language matters. You know what I mean? You know how sometimes I'll tell you guys that, like, I hope I explained that correctly. I may not have explained something the best way, because again, we can know things, but we may not know how to communicate things. Just like there are some words in Spanish that don't translate over to English. We don't have an English word for certain Spanish words, or certain Spanish phrasing can't be translated into English because there's no literal translation. So we have to pick something that's close. That's why we have so many different versions of the Bible as well. Right? Not just like eliminating certain things, like certain verses, but when you have a verse and you change a word, that can change everything. You know what I'm saying? So it gets very deep with language. It gets very complex. And it's even worse if language is your second or your third, because I talk a lot of shit. Or we might have certain terms that are going to be more difficult for you to get, which is why I am impressed when people speak multiple languages, because I do not. Okay? Lee Bright speaks like 3 or 4, I don't know. That's impressive to me. I have a hard enough time with English, bro. Okay? Much less trying to go into other languages, bro. I can't do that. I failed Spanish 3 times in high school. I failed Latin once. Now, I will say that a lot of my teachers were cunts, yes, but part of that was on me too. Okay? Part of that was on me as well. because I just didn't think it was worth it, honestly. But I was stupid. You know, I'm 32 now, but I was what, 16 at the time. All I wanted to do was stay at home and play Call of Duty. So I didn't make good decisions. Okay. But anyway, what other questions do you guys have? So I don't keep going on tangents about the history of the school system and all of its tomfoolery and how off topic we can get just from the things that you ask and the things that go on in my brain. What else you guys got? How about, hey, John, I just bought How to Read a Book by Mortimer Adler and Charles Van Doren. I haven't seen much of that. I saw one the other day. Where's the rest of you guys at? You guys haven't read it or haven't bought it yet? What's going on? What are y'all waiting for? Christmas? This is like the only time out of the year we can ask that question, right? What are y'all waiting for? Or Epictetus, how long are you going to wait to demand the best for yourself? Starting Do Hard Things today. What was that? Steve Magnus. Do Hard Things by Steve Magnus. That is a good one. The Science of Real Toughness or something like that. That one's a little bit older for me, 2 or 3 years, but that's a good one. Finish Laws of Human Nature. I liked Laws of Human Nature except for the gender roles chapter. I don't know what about it was, but like the 3rd page or 4th page into that, I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna go to the next one. I don't know. I just thought it was weird. It just didn't really connect with me. But everything else, though, micro expressions, the masks that people wear. Oh man, I love that shit. Such a good book. I don't think Robert Greene's ever put out a bad book. I'm really excited for 33 Strategies of War that I picked up a few years ago, and I have not yet gotten into it. I bought it today in German for $50. Jesus, $50. That's jacked up, man. That is jacked up. Would you say confidence comes from market experience or from more green trades? Probably both. Probably both. Okay. Experience, your own experience, right? You're going to learn from some level of trial and error, right? Because you're going to know the rules, you're going to break them, right? You're going to break the rules and it's going to mess you up. And you got to learn from that. And you got to realize, okay, I have to have discipline. I have to have patience. I have to like actually listen to people who know what the fuck is going on, right? It ain't just me. There's plenty of other people you can listen to. But as long as they know their shit, you can listen to them. But everyone's got rules. Everyone's got guardrails, right? When you step out of those guardrails, that's where the danger is. So it depends on how many times you want to touch a hot stove before you realize that you probably shouldn't do that. So it's simultaneously learning what to do and what not to do. So then you say, okay, I need to do less of this and more of this. Less over leveraging, more respecting the risk. Less cutting trades early and more holding winners. You see what I'm saying? You should. The biggest mistake I made in my journey was not documenting my journey for the first few years. But I didn't know. Again, I started like 11 years ago. There was no smart money concepts back then, at least in like in with what the internet has now. It was not the same 11 years ago. It was a different world 11 years ago. Okay? We didn't have people that were like, yeah, you should journal, you should do this and that. I didn't come across Mark Douglas books until way later. So it might have been there, but the information was hidden, just as information is always hidden in books, right? It took me 25 years to learn that. So anyway, I say that to say document your journey. I made this mistake. I made that mistake. I should do this better. I should do that better. You're not going to be perfect, right? So don't try to hold yourself to this impossible standard. Don't do that. You'll never be satisfied. Okay? Kind of like some people that we know. They're just never happy. Nothing's ever enough, right? You don't want to be like that in your own journey as a trader. So enjoy the process, document the process, you know, keep a journal. Be kind to yourself though. You asked for that for Christmas? Oh, the 33 strategies of war? Yeah. Eric says I'm banned. What'd you do to get banned? Did I ban you? How'd you get banned, Eric? What happened? Did you not buy the book? At least, Eric, at least, you know what? You can come back because at least you walked out. At least you said, I'll kick myself out before you do it. That will earn you a way back in. So welcome back. You don't have to leave. Ugh. This made a slightly lower low here. We haven't done that on ES. And Dow, no, this is... If there was ever a day to like skip and, I don't know, go Christmas shopping or reading a book, I'd say too, this is probably one of those days. At least in the afternoon. I don't really, let me see. I don't think I looked at much stock today. McDonald's hasn't done anything. Google's down a little bit. There really hasn't been like too many big moves today. Maybe a couple, but not that I care about. Like Penn Entertainment. Who cares about that shit? Or like Lyft. I don't really look at Lyft anymore. So yeah, things look kind of janky today. But no worries. No worries, chat. Well, it's 12:35. Dude, I feel like we've been here for longer than that. I thought we were closer to 1 o'clock. I thought we were closer. Well, I guess this would be a new 30-minute candle here. So at 12:30, we have a new 30-minute candle. So we did trade, like we did open and trade higher. And we're just a little bit softer. Let me ask you guys this then. Are you at least excited for 2026? Whether it be with trading, whether it be with your career, right? I know most people have jobs, whatever career that you're in. Or are you excited about your personal development? What are we excited for in 2026, chat? What are we excited for? What makes your heart beat faster? That's what I want to know. What gets your blood going, dog? Because I can tell you right now, I have been trying to finish this damn book, dude. It's difficult, man. For real. It is difficult, but I'm going to do my best to try and get it done in 2026. Making more profits. That's right, Jordan. How old is your girl now? Like a few weeks, right? I don't always have the best memory, but I think it's a few weeks, right? You gonna be one of those dads, or are y'all one of those parents that goes around telling telling other parents about how, oh, my daughter's 36 months? You're not one of those, are you? So 3 years old? 36 months, what are you talking about? I've always thought those people were weird. Studying more charts, I like that. 3 weeks. Okay. That's good. Independence. I think we had a misspelling there, but that's okay. I misspell it too. Independence is the only word I never misspell because we had a song like that in middle school. So I don't know if that was Boosie or somebody else, but there was a song that spelt that. So I never misspelled it. Anyway, Adam says, paying off my debt. Dude, Dave Ramsey would be proud. Dave Ramsey would be proud. Debt is excluding like good debt, I'll say. Bad debt, like student loans, Jesus. Student loans, high interest credit cards, you know, store, like individual store credit and stuff. That shit is horrible. It really is. It's predatory, man. It's predatory. That's what they want. They want you stupid and they want you broke. Okay? Don't cancel me, but I'm going to say this. Slavery was never abolished. Okay? It just moved into something else. Okay? We may not be, well, I ain't gonna say we, but people may not be in chains physically, but they are in chains mentally and financially. Slavery was never abolished. It just moved categories. We might think we're free. Most people are not. If you have to be at a certain place and you have to be there at a certain time and you have to wear certain things, right? You can only say certain things. You can only do certain things. What part of free do you think that makes you? There's nothing free about that. Something to think about. So, arguably, we are a lot more freer than a long time ago. But it just moved. That's all. And that's the sad part. Because most people don't even know it. They don't even know it. So not to go down the Bill Cooper, you know, Roman circus tinfoil hat conversation, but it always leans that way, chat. It you know, it always leans that way because this is how life is, man. This is how shit works. This is why the markets are the way they are too. The shit's designed to take your money, just like a casino. Only with smart money concepts and the right tools like time, price. Where's my mouse? With time, price, and context, you at least know how the machine is ran. You know what I'm saying? You won't always know the details, but you know at certain times and certain contexts, you know, okay, it has a higher probability to do this than it does to do this. You know what I'm saying? So if everything wasn't controlled, then there would be no way to be accurate. Like really, really accurate. You know what I mean? So I don't know who that conversation is for, but the quicker you learn what we just talked about, the easier your life will get. Just got a message from Chevrolet. Oh, they're doing a follow up because they did my oil change. They're like, is everything cool? No, it's too cold. I can't drive, bro. What do you mean? It's too cold. It has to warm up a little bit. Adam, what do you have? What car do you drive? You said this stupid ass car. What do you drive? You don't drive an electric car, do you? I ain't gonna judge you. I'm just asking. Nothing wrong with Teslas. What kind of car do you got that makes you not like it? We're all waiting. All 55 of us are waiting for you, Adam, right now. We need to know. What? Well, it'd be 56 of us if you include me. What type of car does Adam have? As we watch the S&P do nothing. I'm going to take the fibs off because that's bothering me for some reason. 2024 Honda Civic. I just needed a new car. Why did it have to be new? Why couldn't you get a 2022 Honda Civic? Why did it need to be new, Adam? You know, newest cars devalue the quickest. I knew that before I got mine. I don't care. I know buying a brand new car is not an investment. I know that. But most of us know that. Why did you need a new one? You didn't need a new one. A 98 Civic? Oh my gosh. How many miles does that thing have on it? I have a friend. Their car has like 220 something thousand. Crazy. That's insane. I just don't like expenses. You said you don't like expenses, but you bought a brand new car. Adam, you're blocked. Have a good 2026. You said a little bit. It's okay if it has 1 million miles, bro. 175,000 kilometers. Can somebody do a miles conversion to that? 175,000 kilometers. What the fuck is a kilometer, bro? What is that? Okay. I'm an American. Okay. Speak American. No, I'm playing. It's an inside joke. You probably won't get it. 108K? Oh, that's not a lot. That's not a lot. For a car that's 27 years old, 100K, that thing must have sat in the garage. Okay. Look, we should just cut the stream, honestly. I don't have anything else for you. And the S&P refuses to go lower. You know what I mean? It refuses to do anything. They're just sort of like, bro, look at the Dow Jones today. Look at this. Look at this. People look at that and go, yeah, I'd trade that. Who out here is doing that, bro? Because it ain't me. It ain't me, chat. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and end it here, dude. If y'all want to spend the next 15, 20 minutes reading a book or something, I think you should do that. But I have nothing else for you. Okay? So with that, don't forget, January starts book of the month, right? I've already outlined all of the books for 2026 in advance so that way you guys can grab them, or at least if you celebrate Christmas, you could ask someone else to get them for you. That's efficient, right? It's probably smart. It's not lazy, it's efficient. But January is How to Read a Book by, I always forget the name, Mortimer Adler and Charles Van Doren. How to Read a Book Okay, by Mortimer Adler and Charles Van Doren. It's like $12 or $13 on Amazon. They're going to teach you, I'm only on page 114, which is like only a third of the way through it. But they're going to teach you the levels of reading. They're going to teach you how to read actively, right? Some of the first chapters are heat, okay? And it's good stuff. So we may not read the entire book in January because it is a lot. It is about 400 pages. Well, a little bit less than 400, about 360 pages or so. It is a lot. But so far, the first 114 that I've read have made the book worth it. Right? Remember, there's a difference between reading and reading well. Reading, you just see the words, you don't think about it, you read the book, you toss it aside, and you never remember, like a week later, you can't even remember the author's name, for example, or you don't even know what the chapters are, don't even know what the book is about, because that's passive reading. It's passive, just like a movie. Do you even know what you had for lunch 3 weeks ago on that Thursday? We don't know, because it's passive. Not every time we eat is super important. Not every meal is rememberable, right? It's the same thing with books too. Not every book's going to be awesome, and you're not going to remember everything either. I finished how many? I don't even know, 22, 23 books this year. You think I remember every quote that I wrote down? No. That's why we write them down though, right? Chapter 1 is interesting. Thank you for no. Self-discovery. Self-discovery versus helped discovery, right? It's the same thing here. I can tell you, look at this, look at that, read this, read that. It's going to be up to you to do it. I can't transfer my experience. I can transfer, let's say, facts and knowledge and a reading list. Sure. I can tell you how to do this, how to do that. At the end of the day, you're not going to learn that by just taking it in and going, okay, that's cool. Yeah, I'll drop a like on the stream because that was cool. Or John's funny. Yeah, I'll drop a like because he's hilarious. Talks about his exes all the time. It's kind of weird, but, you know, whatever. He's cool. Drop a like, right? You have to actively read, and you'll discover things on your own. The same way that I do it too. And then I teach you. So with that, y'all be good. Be blessed. We'll be here tomorrow on Tuesday the 16th. Hopefully I'll have more for you than what we've done today. We probably could have got in a little bit more detail, but I gave you a couple things, right? One of the signs of a reversal, somewhat of a balanced price range because of the imbalances in both directions. The opportunity for a short, but we're just not getting that extended move lower. Like, it is weak, but it's reluctant to go lower. It is a high resistant run lower. So not quite bullish enough for me to long, and I'm just not going to touch this. So y'all be good, and I'll see you tomorrow.
That I am fine, or I